Hey Sugar Buns, welcome to your How to Counter Cipher Rush guide. I am Kuroshiro, your Espach Galatia from NAEU, and today I'll be teaching you guys how to counter Cipher Rush. Your top 10 ways, top 10 tips to counter Cipher Rush. Of course, the first few tips will be very fast since we all know the basics, but I still believe I have to get it through, so try not to skip too much. Tip number 1. Make sure that you know all spawn points for all maps. It doesn't have to be all 4 spawn points, just make sure you know the one spawn point for each and every map and for each and every spawn points. If the first person who you chase is someone who you don't want to chase, you can always rotate to another cipher. As long as you disturb the first cipher, that's all that matters. For tip number 2, whatever hunter you're playing, and I genuinely mean it, whatever hunter you're playing, whether it's Disciple, whether it's Sculptor, a double hit hunter, whether it's Geisha, a single hit hunter, whether it's Streamwitch, a huge map control hunter, make sure you always bring Blink first. Blink has a 60-second cooldown early game. Blink is basically when you it's like teleporting, but then like at a small distance. Why should you bring Blink? Simply because if you just started out playing Hunter, I will explain to you one thing. The very important thing is we need to know how fast survivors can finish ciphers. For example, Mechanic takes 73 seconds to finish a cipher. Doctor is a support. Doctor takes 81 seconds to finish a cipher. Next, we'll have Gardener. Gardener is a kiter. She takes 81 seconds to finish a cipher. And last but not least, we'll have our Rescuer. Rescuers take 108 seconds to finish ciphers. Now, just in case everyone doesn't know, at the start of the game, wherever you spawn at, it takes at least 10 seconds to reach to your first survivor. You have 60 seconds to down the survivor as fast as possible, and then chair the survivor, right? Chairing takes time, ballooning takes time, attack animation takes time as well. So by the time 60 seconds is up, you have your blink ready to blink, hit, and then down your first survivor. Around 2.5 or maybe 3/4 of a cipher are already done, which is why I really emphasize on bringing blink first. Now, number 3. Number 3 is very important. Number 3 is basically wanted order. Why is wanted order important, you may ask? Well, basically, wanted order is when a survivor is placed on a rocket chair and the remaining 3 survivors are healthy or injured, the outline of a random survivor will be shown and the movement speed will be reduced by 4 to 0%. The debuff will disappear when a survivor on the rocket chair has been rescued, but the outline will last for another 20 seconds. Now, let me explain this to you. When you get your first survivor down in 60 seconds, there's a 33% of a chance that wanted order will land on either a decoder or a rescuer, right? So that's added that up, it's 66% of a chance. If it managed to get on a decoder, great, you can disturb the decoder if you're playing Galatia, Bonbon, Geisha, Mad Eyes, etc. If it lands on a rescuer, and if it's a really fast down, let's say a 20-second down, and it lands on a rescuer, you will know A, the rescuer's location, B, if the rescuer is planning to rescue or not, or C, if the rescuer is not planning on rescuing, you can go and annoy and disturb survivors to counter Cipher Rush. Now, I will go in detail in explaining this, but I'll leave wanted order here for now. Wanted order will be very important. Number 4 is basically Shaky Ciphers. Shaky Ciphers basically mean when ciphers starts to shake, when their frames starts to move. They only start to move after 30%, right? So then you have to make sure that when you down your first survivor, you need to look for Shaky Ciphers to know all the other survivors' location. This will immensely help you with knowing the survivor's location, going towards this survivor and hitting them and result in a double down if you know what you're doing. Also, when it comes to Shaky Cipher, if you don't have Quenching Fist, if you do not have Quenching Fist, you can always rely on Shaky Cipher. Whichever cipher shakes the most, the hardest, that will definitely not be a decoder shaking the decoder that's decoding the cipher. which means if you have teleport but not quenching fist, you can always use this as a strat as well. Number 5 are basically Hunter's buff, right? Let's look at some of the Hunter's buff. Movement speed increases by 3-4-5% when a survivor is placed on a rocket chair. Gains 10% attack recovery speed and 5% movement speed when the exit gate has been opened. Okay, this will be late game, we'll talk about that later. And we have this Wither. When a survivor is placed on a rocket chair, the hunter is 10 meters away from the chair. The hunter's normal attack will reduce survivor's acceleration effect, which means their movement speed boosts when they get hit by 10, 15 and 20%. And last but not least, attack recovery speed is increased by 15, 20, 25% when a survivor is placed on a rocket chair. Right? I've seen a lot of low tier survivors. No, I'm not trying to diss on anyone, but I've seen a lot of low tier survivors that are like that when they don't have tinnitus, they always camp chair. And that's the result of, like, you know, survivors selling. When you don't have tinnitus, make sure you always go outside to utilize your buffs. Utilize your 5% movement speed buff. Utilize your survivor's acceleration effect by 20% buff. And utilize your Berserker buff. Berserker is genuinely a really good persona for any hunter. Mach is genuinely a really good persona for any hunter too, and especially for single hit hunters when you really need Mach, because like you're gonna run either like confined space or detention, or maybe trump card detention, sometimes insolence detention if you're Hellember or if you're Wu-Chan, but this is genuinely a very good buff as well. So you shouldn't really always capture unless your tinnitus pops. That's a different story, right? If you leave the chair when tinnitus pops, you're just basically telling the survivor, oh wait, no, I'm letting you rescue this guy, I don't care about this guy, he's on the chair. Now, tip number 7, chair locations. Now, I cannot emphasize this enough, but however you choose your chair is however the game will go. If you decided to chair a survivor, if you decided to balloon a survivor and chair it to the nearest chair to you, this could result in a tie or a very bad endgame due to the fact that you chose the wrong chair. I cannot emphasize on this enough because sometimes you can chair survivors near the ciphers which other survivors are decoding at, meaning that they cannot decode this survivor unless they will be hit and then force the rescue, and then this will just accelerate the game even more as the game proceeds. But yes, a lot of low tiers don't utilize this. So here we are, we will go on to tip number 8, struggling speed. Now, many people may not know this, or even many people may question me. Hey Kudo, why do you count when survivors are on balloon? Well, here's the reason. When survivors are on a balloon, the amount of times they struggle is the amount of times is basically telling you, hey, I'm gonna struggle free now, or hey, I've slow struggling speed, or hey, I do not have this persona, meaning that you can chair me at a little bit further away chair instead of the closest chair, right? So let's take an example here. Survivor struggling speed, I would usually say count to 5 for safety measures because you never know if they have will to survive or not. But usually I would count. When you walk straight and somehow you slant a little bit, that's when you know survivors struggle 1. They slant again, struggle 2. They slant again, struggle 3. They slant again, struggle 4. And then when it comes to struggle 5, you need to get the chair fast, right? They'll do struggle 5, but then the next struggle, it will definitely be a struggle 3. Usually though, I would go for 1, 2, 3, 4. At 4, I will be like, okay, I need to chair the survivor fast, or else it'll be very bad for me. Also, when survivors are struggling, there is like a small tempo to it if you don't understand what I'm saying. So basically, it's survivor struggling speed. If survivors struggle fast, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If survivors are struggle slow, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. meaning that you will know, okay, they have will to survive, meaning that they will struggle very fast, right? If it's slow, you'll know it is not fast, and I genuinely mean it is not fast, meaning you can chair at a little bit further of a chair of a little bit further of where you are near a cipher to disturb the decoding. Now that's struggling speed. Let's talk about camp strategies, right? So basically, imagine you got your first 60 seconds down. Wait, you know what? I'll go actually here. I'll go here. Give me a second. Now let's proceed to our second example. Now what do we have? Okay, what do we see? We see one cipher shaking there. There's another cipher shaking there. Let me just. And 0 was supposed to be decoding on this cipher, but like this cipher would be shaking by now, right? So then let's just teleport back to my chair. Now, C would be at that cipher, right? Now, how will this work? Now, we know that Guardian is very far away. We know that there's a seer here, right? And then we know that there's another seer over there. So what you can do is, you throw your chisel out here to that seer, right? You disturb it with your, you disturb. While you also give your debuffs to this seer here, right? And you see, and then like, you know how Guardian is still highlighted, right? You can always look back. You can always be like, okay, I want to disturb you. You're not decoding. But you also always look back at the same time, right? Don't fully commit just yet. Do not fully commit just yet. If this Guardian does not come for the rescue, you know that you can fully commit, right? Let's say this Guardian decides to rotate into the red carpet. You know, oh wait, they're not rescuing. You chisel down there to this seer. Oh wait, this seer is also decoding. I can fully commit to this seer over here. So then like, I will not need to camp my cipher, right? I will definitely not need to camp my cipher, which is one of the very few good things about this. Now, let's talk about one more thing, right? Let's talk about one more thing that will be very important. Okay, now let's look at this gameplay where I got Postman at 75%, right? And I got this Postman down within 22 seconds before Blink got up. Now, what I'm doing is I'm deciding to put Postman onto chair, right? Wanted order is on coordinator. I'm looking around for Shaky Ciphers. I see at the other side of the map that there's a cipher shaking very hard. I see next to the cipher there's another cipher that's shaking hard, which means there's two ciphers shaking currently. And wanted order is on coordinator. Now, I'm still looking at the Shaky Cipher. Ciphers are still shaking. I decide to commit to coordinate for a bit. Now, I looked back once again. See that cipher that's at the very corner? That cipher stopped moving, meaning that there's someone coming in. Someone wants to backdoor you, right? So now, instead of full committing into coordinator, I'm gonna change targets to see who actually is coming. But as you can see, it's a prisoner. Now, prisoner comes, right? I got a good chip on him. Now, that was a mishit, but I looked back again, and I saw coordinator not want to come to rescue. Coordinator left the chair, did not go into the direction of the chair, meaning that I can full commit into this prisoner, which results in a double down, 3 ciphers remaining. They will not be able to rescue this postman on time. Also, they have not let me use Blink, not once. That is one way which you can use wanted order in your at your advantage. Okay, now let's focus on another thing. Attack recovery animation and ballooning animation. So when you attack, right, there's a small animation. When the animation starts, you need to look around for Shaky Cipher. Like that cipher is shaking, that cipher is also shaking, so you know where the survivors' locations are. Now ballooning takes time, as you can see here, right? Ballooning takes time as well. Right here, I will show you how long it takes to balloon. When it balloons, you need to look for Shaky Ciphers as well. Look. These two are shaking, right? When you balloon and when you chair, they will always shake. It's fine. Like when you walk, you probably can't see it. But then when you balloon and chair, you will be able to see it. Trust me on this one, right? So then like when you hit, okay, terror shot, okay, there's one cipher there shaking. I'm on animation, right? You pick her up. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it took 5 seconds. Balloon down. Okay, check which ciphers are shaking so you know where the survivors' locations are. you need to be very efficient with this, and I mean very efficient, right? Because you need to think about it this way. Survivors finish ciphers in 80 seconds. Chasing after your first survivor takes 10 seconds. Downing this first survivor takes 50 seconds. If you have blink for that good early down, that's like 60 seconds in. Hitting a survivor, that's like a 3-second animation, right? And then chairing this survivor, let's just say that the chair is not near you, right? Let's just take a small loop. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it took 7 seconds. Let's just make it 10 seconds for like proper adjustments. Now what do we have? We have 60 seconds to chase after a survivor and downing them fast with blink. 60 seconds in. Once you down them, there's a 3-second animation. 63 seconds. You need to chair the survivor down fast. Let's just say it takes 5 to 10 seconds, so like 73 seconds. Or even if we just added 5 seconds, it'll be 68 seconds. But like 68 seconds in, the first decoder will have the cipher done. Also, please do not forget there is this thing called chair time. Chair time takes 60 seconds in total, right? Meaning that they can finish all 3 ciphers right on time to get the tie. Meaning that you basically got your ass rushed by ciphers, right? Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? So basically it takes 60 seconds to down a survivor fully, right? If you brought blink. Let's just say it takes 60 seconds. Survivors take 80 seconds to finish the cipher. But then like, it's not like you're definitely going to get someone down in 60 seconds. That's most likely not going to be possible. You need to be very careful of your blink as well. If you miss it, you're a goner. You're genuinely a goner, right? So 60 seconds and then plus the 3-second animation, 63 seconds. Chairing takes animation, right? Let's just say ballooning and chairing in total takes 10 seconds, 73 seconds. Well, you have 2 ciphers done by now. And this merc, or even this rescue, is definitely going to come in for the rescue. So then, like, by the time they manage to half rescue, don't forget, tie turner also takes 20 seconds. Right? How long is that? So, like, let's just say, like, the survivor's 20 seconds into chair. Tie turner is another 20 seconds. That's 40 seconds of your time wasted. Right? That's 40 seconds of your time wasted. So then, like, sometimes you just need to capitalize on saying, do I want to camp this, or do you want to hit and let them early rescue and then like try to get a double down and finish down fast? Right? You genuinely need to think a lot when it comes to this. Do I want to double down, or do I want to focus on just this one survivor? Are they selling? Are they not? Don't forget, every match there will be 2 tie turners, meaning that it'll waste at least 100 seconds of your time. Well, 80 seconds of your time. That's like 1 minute plus. That's like 2 ciphers done. Like, that's like 2 ciphers done already, right? 2 ciphers for free done. Because rescuers can rescue. Never rely on Terror Shock, right? Whatever you do, you never rely on Terror Shock. Because whenever they Terror Shock, it doesn't mean it's going to be a win, right? And also, the chances of Terror Shocking happening is very low. Never rely on Terror Shock. You're probably going to hit the chair. Let's be fair. I've hit the chair so many times, right? So you genuinely should never rely on Terror Shock. Now, last but not least, your end game, right? If you have the tension and teleport, and there's one survivor already back to the mainer, if you have the tension, don't be greedy. I'm really sorry, but a tie is a tie. A tie is better than lost. Never be greedy. The tension is good. It does not mean it's bad. It's good. The tension is good. If the survivor somehow messes up and results in a double down, and you manage just to chair and then like chair the other one, even if you have blink up, you can change to teleport with trump card. You don't do it. You don't want to risk it. The more you risk, the greedier you get, the worse it gets. Unless you're very confident, right? But I wouldn't really suggest risking it. So your end game would be very important. If you can secure the tie, you take the tie. You don't say, I'm gonna go for the win, let's go. No, haha, no. You're gonna lose, I'm sorry. Survivors aren't stupid, especially when it's high tiers and they're 4-man VC. No, that's not gonna happen, right? It happened to me before and I was like, okay, fair enough. That's on me, you know. So like, make sure your end game is very important. Now, this is how to counter Cipher Rush guide by Kuroshiro by me. I hope y'all sugar buns learned something new, right? I'm gonna be making more guides out on countering survivors, like persona guides, etc. coming out. So, if you have anything to add, any requests, please feel free to put it in the comment section down below. I'll make sure like to make good guides coming out. But as of for now, I am Kuroshiro, your S-Badge sculptor, and if you like this, no, I'm not doing that, my bad. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.